I think the big news out of college football, really, which really just happened last week, is Southern California, the USC and UCLA have joined the Big Ten conference, which is really, really pretty interesting. Because now you've got you've already had Texas and Oklahoma commit to the Southeastern Conference. They'll start play there, I think, in 2024. You've got USC and UCLA now eventually going to the Big Ten. That's going to pretty much put a big hole in the Pac-12 conference. I know they're scurrying for teams right now, but I think what you're going to see in the college football landscape here within 3 or 4 years is you're going to see pretty much two major conferences. I mean, you're going to see the Southeastern Conference and maybe the Big Ten. The Big Ten is going to has the Fox Network rights, or Fox Network has the Big Ten rights, and I believe ESPN now has the SEC rights. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens as more and more teams start going to these conferences, which kind of brings up the Notre Dame issue, and Notre Dame may be forced to join a conference because they won't be able to schedule anybody. So it's going to be interesting over the next year to 2 years to see exactly how that all shakes out.
A lot of these teams that Notre Dame is playing right now that are in the ACC, are they if the ACC would start to kind of thin out and move to the SEC or whatever, Notre Dame could just probably sign some type of deal like they have now, but sign with the SEC, right? I mean,
they could. Yeah, they could. I think if well, let me step back. Every sport at Notre Dame is a member of the ACC, with the exception of football and hockey. Now, the reason hockey isn't is because there's really no hockey teams in the ACC because they're mostly Southern teams, But if Notre Dame were to go, say, to the Big Ten, then I think everybody would be in the Big Ten. All their sports would be Big Ten sports, including the hockey team.
You don't think the football would do whatever? Because right now they have some type of deal, right, where they play like an ACC schedule, but they're not.
Well, they do. They play 5 ACC games a year, but they're not eligible for the conference championship. The only year they were was the pandemic year, 2020.
Well, couldn't they do something similar then with the Big Ten or the SEC if everything moved to just like 2 major conferences?
Yeah, they could. Really, the question for I think if Notre Dame keeps their NBC contract, I doubt you're going to see them join a conference. But and they may very well do that because NBC would feel like, we really don't have any college football, and this gives us, the University of Notre Dame. I think the problem is Notre Dame going to be able to schedule USC every year? Are they going to be able to schedule, some of these other big teams that they play, like Clemson? Well, Clemson they would, but they were supposed to play Arkansas a couple of years ago, or they played Georgia a couple of years. Would they be able to schedule these teams if they're members of a super conference where they're playing, all these games? Why would you want to schedule Notre Dame in that situation? So I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, I see. You're saying that there'll be so many more teams in their conference that they'll have a full schedule. They won't have room for Notre Dame, basically.
Yeah. I think that could be a big part of it.
But I think that's it may be maybe for Georgia, maybe. But I feel like Notre Dame and USC, that's such a rivalry. I feel like they'd always make a point to play each other, right?
You would think so. But I don't know. I don't know all the different hidden meanings behind it, and what these. I don't know what kind of pressure these networks would put on these teams. In that situation. I don't know.
So what's left in the Pac-12 now? Just like Oregon, Arizona State, right? Arizona, all those teams.
Washington State. Teams that really don't amount to much. So it's not going to. Yeah, Oregon's about the only one, but.